officers will be making a statement, and then we'll have some, Chief will be available to answer some questions, and we also have others here to answer questions as well if you need some more clarification. Wanted to let you know, too, we'll be here throughout the evening and sending out updated releases as we get more information. President Gonzalez.
Good evening. This afternoon, about 2:10 p.m., University Police responded to a report of a disturbance in the residence hall. The suspect had a knife, and officers attempted to subdue him with pepper balls. Nevertheless, the suspect came at the officers and was shot. He was taken to the hospital, and I do not know his condition. Another person was found at the scene with injuries. That person later died at the hospital. This was a contained incident, and at this time, there does not appear to be any other suspects. The incident is contained, and the campus is safe. Students have returned to their rooms in the parts of the building not affected by the incident. We will cooperate fully with the Sacramento Police Department, who will be investigating. I will also be conducting a full investigation for the university. We will provide more information as it becomes available. Thank you.
Okay, Police Chief Dan Davis is here, as is Sergeant Joe Green, to answer questions if you have any questions. And can we take it one at a time and politely?
Were they both students? And was the person that died a student?
We have not determined that factual information at this point. We're still investigating.
Identity? The identity of the person that...
We're not releasing that at this point in time.
How did this start?
We do not know. It's still under investigation. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of information.
Do we know if the two knew each other?
They were in a room together. We do not know if they knew each other prior to today's altercation.
Were they students?
We're still trying to finalize that and determine for sure before we release that information.
Age of the people involved?
Between late teens, early 20s.
What about the notification process? Some students were concerned that who lived in the dorm, that they never received that text message. Was there enough time to notify them, or how did it work?
As far as we were able to determine when we arrived on the scene, there was no continuing threat to other members of the community. It was an isolated incident that occurred between two individuals. And the two individuals were both either in custody or were on their way to the hospital after the altercation.
So there was no notification? Why they had an altercation?
We do not know. That's still under investigation.
So was there a notification sent out? Was there a notification sent out at some point?
We just sent out a notification recently just to reassure the campus community that it is safe.
This was after the fact?
Correct.
Why was the email sent out, I understand, at 4:30 and not earlier to let students know that?
Because at the point in time when the altercation occurred, we felt that the rest of the campus was safe. There was no continuing threat, so we had both individuals in custody or on the way to the hospital. So we did not see the need to send out a notification to the entire community at that time.
Was the person that died, was the injuries related to being beaten with a bat?
We don't know at this point in time.
Where was he found?
He was found on the floor in the room where the altercation occurred.
Was everything contained to that one room?
There was a bit larger crime scene that evolved after we arrived. But it appears what happened before we arrived took place in the room.
Can you elaborate on a bit larger crime scene?
I can't at this point in time. It's still under investigation.
What was the role of the police officers at that moment, and why the shooting?
When we arrive on scene, our responsibility is to protect life and property and to neutralize any threat that might be occurring. We attempted to do that by the use, as the president said, using the pepper ball gun. It was not effective. The subject kept coming at the officers with the knife. It appeared they had no other choice to do what they did.
How many shots were fired? How many shots?
I do not know that for sure at this point in time, so I don't want to say.
What's a pepper ball gun?
A pepper ball gun is similar to a rifle that has plastic rounds in it that contain powder, that have oleoresin capsicum, which is pepper powder, and it's usually causes someone to tear up and
What kind of provocation happened after the pepper gun went off that led your officers to go to their live ammunition?
To the best of my knowledge at this point in time, the individual came at them with a knife, even after they deployed the pepper ball.
Were there stab wounds to the victim who died?
I do not know at this point.
What weapons were found inside the dormitory?
That was involved.
I'm sorry, one at a time.
What weapons were found
involved in the shooting? How many years of experience? Is he going to be placed on routine leave? How many officers actually fired?
There were 2 officers involved in the altercation, and their level of experience varies from 3 years to over 10 years.
And
What weapons, if
administrative
any,
leave?
were found in the dormitory?
I'm sorry, administrative leave, that's standard practice, yes, after any officer involved in shooting.
What weapons, if any, were found in the dormitory?
I can't reveal that information at this point in time. We're still investigating this.
Chief, what can you tell us about the nature of the wounds involved in the second victim?
I cannot tell you anything about those wounds at this point in time. I just know the final disposition.
And no word on the condition of the suspect who was shot?
No word at this point in time.
Can you tell us if the information that was put out earlier that one of the victims appeared to have been beaten by a bat, is that information correct?
I can't tell you that.
Were they both male victims?
They were both male. They were both male victims.
When do you expect to release the names?
I would say sometime this evening we would expect to be able to release.
Does the suspect, do you have reason to believe he has any kind of condition that might have prompted this behavior?
We have no information to indicate that.
What can you say to parents tonight, obviously, who are wondering about the safety on the campus of Sac State?
I can tell you that this was an isolated altercation that took place between 2 individuals. One of those is in custody in the hospital. The other one unfortunately passed away. It was an isolated incident and the campus is safe.
Has the campus had any other altercations like this in this school semester or since school's been back? Any
No.
altercations of death?
No.
If there are any additional questions, you can address them or come up later. If you have any questions regarding the students, Vice President Lori Verlotta is here, who can just let you know where you want to step up and stand by. Just to let you know how she's handling where the students are going and that kind of thing. So you can step to the microphone.
We have many counselors that are already on site, arrived at site shortly after the incident occurred. Our counselors will be available to talk to any student who wants to pursue individual or group conversation with trained clinical PhD counselors. While the investigation is currently underway, students who are involved in or near the suite that was in effect will be temporarily moved to another area of the building or another area of the residence complex. So students will be given alternate housing tonight if necessary. They will be provided with all of the basic amenities, and we are doing everything we can to keep them comfortable. We don't expect them to be out of the rooms for an extended period of time. For the hours that they are out of the room, they will have other accommodations made.
Do you believe that they'll be back in their rooms tonight or tomorrow?
It's a police investigation. I can't comment on that.
How many students do you expect to be moved to other locations?
It depends on what the police tell us in terms of what they need to secure for their investigation.
Who is heading up the investigation? Campus Police or Sacramento Police Department?
Presently, we've called the Sacramento Police Department because our officers were involved. We called the Sacramento Police Department, asked them to take the lead in the investigation. We're going to assist them in whatever possible.
Was there anybody else involved in this, or is anybody else being questioned?
No.
Only these 2 people.
Right.
Are there any witnesses?
Yes, there's a multitude of witnesses, and we're interviewing them. The Sacramento Police Department's interviewing witnesses.
Okay, thank you all very much, and we'll be available throughout the night. We'll be sending out